The West Bengal government today once again invited the agitating junior doctors for talks on the ongoing impasse arising out of the rape and murder of a woman medic at the state-run hospital in Kolkata last month. Following a mail that was sent by the medics earlier in the day, the government asked them to join a meeting at the state secretariat Nabana. Now the protesting doctors have put a list of conditions to attend the meeting. The West Bengal Junior Doctors Front sent an email with 4 conditions to the Chief Secretary for attending the meeting. Their demands include that a delegation of 30 people will attend the meeting. The meeting should be telecast live. They further emphasize that the discussions should be held around the 5 points that they have been raising. And they also demand that the discussion should be held in the presence of Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee. The doctors have been demanding punishment for the murderer of the woman doctor and the resignation of the City Police Commissioner and 3 top health officials, including the Principal Health Secretary. Let's start this conversation. On the telecast with me is Dr. Sanjeev Bagai. And Dr. Bagai, do you think there can be a thaw finally as the meeting that has been called once again? An appeal that has been made by the government of West Bengal for the doctors to sit across the table, have discussions, have the talks, so that the doctors can go back satisfied and rejoin their work.
Okay, so my take is as follows. I think the point has been made very loud and clear. I think the alarm bells have even been ringing in the Chief Justice, Honorable Chief Justice Court and the Supreme Court. They've taken note of it. They are monitoring it. CBI is investigating into it. A national task force has been set up who's due to submit their interim report very soon. So I think the wheels of change are being seen. Now coming to the local situation, there are 2 very, very basic issues. Is justice for the family who's lost their young daughter, which is totally unacceptable. I think justice must be given. It must be given swiftly and severely. Point number 2 is an ongoing concern, which is a genuine concern, a realistic concern of the security of doctors. Not only of the junior staff, but even the senior staff and the paramedic staff. All this put together, it's been more than about a month or so that the resident doctors have been sitting, and I think we need to move a few feet forward, and the government of West Bengal needs to meet in the middle ground. There is no harm for the conditions which have been put. It's actually not conditions. It should be termed as a request from the resident doctors that yes, the Chief Minister herself should meet the doctors. I would even go a step further that she should come down and meet the doctors where they are protesting on the road. There is no harm. She's been elected by the general public by a popular vote, and I think it's important that this meeting ground can happen to give a comfort zone and assurance to the doctors.
Okay.
No harm if it is telecast live, and the people who are responsible, even in the administration, have to go. They have no place in administration at all, now or later.
Okay, all right. Fair enough. I have with me Dr. Shelja Yadav, who's part of the Resident Doctor Association, Indira Gandhi Hospital. Dr. Yadav, again, what was ironical was because the first letter that was sent out by the government of West Bengal appealing to the junior doctors to come to Nabana, to the state secretariat to have discussions, to iron out the problems that the junior doctors have and the demands that they have of the state government. And the letter was sent by the health secretary, the very man that the junior doctors were demanding from the West Bengal government to be sacked, amongst the others, amongst the top cop of Kolkata and 2 other officials. Now, that miffed the doctors no end. They said this was humiliating for them to be receiving a letter from the Home Secretary who they demand be stepping down from the position, and he himself sending out a letter to the doctors and saying that, listen, let's have discussions, let's sit across the table and figure out what the problems are and what are your demands and which the ones that can be fulfilled. There has been more tact that has been shown now by the West Bengal government, because it is now the Chief Secretary who has written the letter, and there seems to be a thaw that might happen because the doctors have agreed to a meeting, but on the condition that there be 30 representatives of the junior doctors that be present, apart from the other 3 demands that they've made. Do you think here on things could smoothen out and the doctors can go back to resuming their work?
First of all, thank you for giving us this platform. I would like to mention, ma'am, that fine, the resident doctors over there, the Ajikar incident had happened. They were being called up and they've been given a platform to put up their demands. But let's just make it very clear that these things have happened in the past as well. The junior doctors are being heard, but they are not being served till now. डिमांड्स आगे आई हैं लेकिन उनको सुना नहीं गया है, उनको बस एक आश्वासन देके पीछे कर दिया गया है. And as far as the individual opinion and as far as the opinion is concerned regarding whether they should go back to the work or not, of course, doctors at the end of the day they need to go to the work because patients भी जो है वो harm हो रहे हैं. लेकिन हमारे जो senior doctors हैं वो सब patients को देख रहे हैं, तो उसमें patients harm फिलहाल नहीं हो रहे हैं. जो हमारे सारे सीनियर कंसल्टेंट्स हैं वो भी पेशेंट्स को देख रहे हैं. एंड जब तक जूनियर डॉक्टर्स की डिमांड्स को सुना नहीं जा रहा है, जब तक उनको जस्टिस नहीं मिल जाती, इफ इट्स देयर डिसीजन कि वो नहीं वापस जाएंगे, तो विल डेफिनेटली गोना सपोर्ट देम थ्रू आउट देयर जर्नी एंड विल गोना फाइट टिल द टाइम द जस्टिस इज नॉट डिलीवर्ड.
Okay. Dr. K.R. Gupta, Senior Medical Officer, Department of Gastrology, R.G. Tagore Hospital, also on the telecast with me. Dr. K.R. Gupta, what is your take today when a second letter goes out from the West Bengal government and there is an appeal once again that there should be discussions, there should be talks that should be held, and only then can a solution be found out to the grievances of the doctors?
Actually, the letter was sent, they received the letter, and because the junior doctors are doing everything very democratically, so they had their own meeting, and because there are around 25 medical colleges in West Bengal, they want a representative from each medical college. So they were only allowed 12 to 15 people, but they wanted at least 30 of them to join, so that everyone can put in their view, and they wanted the chief minister to be present there. So that is what the technical itch right now. But they are open to negotiations, they are open to dialogue.
Okay. All right. How do you think this situation can be ameliorated further? Keeping in mind that the doctors are hell-bent, they have been demanding that the police commissioner of Kolkata resign. They also want the health secretary to step down. Up until now, the West Bengal government has done nothing of the sort. Do you think the West Bengal government and Mamata Banerjee will accede to their demands?
That depends on their goodwill to provide patient care. If the government is serious about providing patient care, then this is not the first time a CP has Commissioner of Police has stepped down. So I think if the government has the good intentions of providing patient care to the people of West Bengal, they will think about it. They will take a positive step about it. It's nothing unsurmountable. But if it becomes kind of an ego fight, then you can't only hold the junior doctors responsible now, can you?
Okay. All right, let's also get in a perspective from Dr. P.S.V. Rao, who's on the telecast with me. Dr. Rao, are the doctors justified in violating the Supreme Court order, which has urged them to get back and resume services as of September 10th?
Megha, good evening to you, to the panelists and to all viewers. See, you have to also look the history of what has happened in the past. Very often, these protests, whenever such incidents have happened in the past, where the secretary and the president of the students are called in, it is not the final deciding authority, it is someone lower in the hierarchy who deals with them, and he says one thing there and something else is done later on. This is exactly why they want not one or two people, they, like Dr. K said, they want representatives from all the colleges, so that the government or the people higher up in the hierarchy Don't try to create confusion between them and split the group, the association. Second, they want the telecast so that everyone knows what was said and what was agreed upon. Because so often in the past, they agree on one thing and do something else later on and say this is what the agreement was. So these are the reasons why, because of past experiences, that the doctors are saying, one, you have multiple people there, second, you telecast. And I find there's nothing wrong in either of them. And like Dr. Sanjeev Bagai said, the chief minister, because she is also the home minister and also the health minister, it is the only proper that she comes down and meets these people and talks to them.
Okay.
And we doctors are responsible citizens. We know our responsibility to the society. But if there is no security, I see no reason why they will agree to come back on duty. What guarantee is there that another incident won't happen tomorrow if they come back to duty? Where is the security? Each institution has to provide security for the people who are on duty. You can't have this incident being repeated, and unless the most important thing as far as I'm concerned is ensure security for doctors, because too many doctors are getting beaten up, and this is really the limit, and this is probably the red line that has been crossed.
Right, absolutely. Dr. Sanjeev Bagai, again, very rightfully put by Dr. Rao. This is, this is the larger issue that the doctors have faced and raised protests and gone on dharnas time and again over the years, where their safety is under jeopardy, their lives are under threat. And up until now, there have been promises that are hollow, that have been made by the health ministry, by the authorities, but nothing concrete comes out of it. Do you think this would be a game changer today after this incident, horrific incident that has taken place, and the doctors again on the streets fighting for their rights?
My advice to both sides is as follows. Being in healthcare for close to now 40 plus years, the Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee is a bigger stature than the doctors. She's in an administrative post. She should come and meet the resident doctors on the ground tomorrow morning. It doesn't matter whether they are 20, 30, 40 or 50. Point number two, the doctors also now should resume work once the meeting with the Chief Minister is there. And within 30 days, the Chief Minister of West Bengal should lay down guidelines of how the security needs to be enhanced in all government teaching hospitals in her state. Be it access cards, be it screening of the excess relatives, be it restricted entry in zones of the areas, female security guards, male security guards, the living conditions, be it the accommodation, be it the resting rooms, the sleeping rooms for the doctors, a simple cafeteria at the workplace, clean drinking water, clean toilets and sanitation. This is nothing dramatic. This is basic needs of a human being who's working for 24 to 36 and plus hours non-stop for years together. So I think a lot can be done from the administrative side. And lastly, no one should be hiding or shielding under a cover-up. If the person who's the administrative head of the hospital is involved, he has to be sacked. The health secretary cannot be a part of the team because he is directly involved in this entire mess. The health secretary also should be resigning on his own. We need a cleanup, but the residents, in the larger interest of patient care, should start work as soon as possible. But the changes on the ground have to be tangible, they have to be seen, and the security issues must be addressed in a very substantial and firm manner by the Chief Minister herself.
Okay.
If she meets the residents, even for 10 minutes herself, things will resolve.
Okay. Dr. Manish Jangra is the founder of FAIMA, also on the telecast with me. Dr. Manish Jangra, what are the chances right now? What are the prospects here that the Mamata Banerjee government agrees to all the 4 demands of the doctors? If there is not an agreement, are the doctors justified in continuing their protest and not returning to duty?
Yes, The question is absolutely very right. I would like to tell one thing. First of all, there is no arrest has been there. Only some scapegoats are being arrested by the CBI. First of all, the issue is that why the Commissioner of Police is not being suspended, and why not the Sandeep Ghosh is being suspended till now, and why not he is being punished by the state government. And why not the Commissioner of Police, the right hand of the Mamata Banerjee, is being suspended by the Mamata Banerjee? Because when the 14th of night, when the goons, lot of goons entered into the campus and they tried to destroy all the evidences, you can see all the videos and the clips and the photos where all the evidence are being destroyed. They tried to destroy it. It especially goes to the second floor instead of the first floor. And you know, all the female doctors went to the girls' hostel. They were very much afraid. Some of the people were saying, we will rape you also like that actually. And the police was just being spectator at that time, and police were requesting the male doctors to help them. You know, this event happened for 1.5 hours, and it is in the Kolkata, the capital of the West Bengal. And being the capital of the West Bengal, the police is so much inefficient. Then why the Mamata Banerjee should not resign from the chief minister? Why should not there be the president rule? She has completely creating their anarchy. And another thing, why should we keep our protest? First thing is the justice for our female doctor. Another is our demand to the Central Health Minister Shri JP Nadda is that he should at least say a few words about the Central Healthcare Protection Bill, and he is not paying any heed towards this. And he is the most, ignorant health minister till now I have seen in my life. Dr. Harshvardhan was the doctor. He used to think about the doctors. And Dr. JP Nadda is not listening to us. And our fight is against all the people who are against us, who are not supporting us, and who are not giving us the Central Healthcare Protection Bill and the justice to our female doctor.
Okay, all right. Dr. K.R. Gupta, again, coming back to you, the question, the million-dollar questions. When should the doctors resume duty? If the state government refuses to sack the top cop, refuses to sack the health secretary, what is the student protest going to move forward with? Will the doctors return to work?
This West Bengal Junior Doctors Federation is an independent body that will take its decision following a general body meeting. So currently, we cannot say that what will happen if so and so happens. So it is for them to take a call. And we have been pushed to a corner and our back is against a wall. So you understand our condition is very much desperate. So at this point of time, us, the senior doctors, we are standing by them whatever decisions they take. Because it is the boys who are suffering, and they're suffering very badly. The colleges have been turned into a place where threat culture propagates, where passing an exam is done by bribing from the powerful party in the seat of power. So you can understand that even the general people are now understanding that this movement is not only for doctors, because it will churn out doctors who don't know anything, churn out doctors who have just used their connections to pass exams. So this this effort on the part of the junior doctor to clean up the Shastro Bhavan, this effort on the part of the junior doctors to clean out the corruption is supported by all of us. And what they will do in the future lies totally with their acumen. I believe they are matured.
Okay, all right. Let's hear it from Dr. Shailja Yadav as well. Dr. Shailja, how do you view, are the students right now justified in keep going with their protest despite the Supreme Court coming out and urging that the protests should be dispersed, the doctors should go back and start work?
They are absolutely justified, ma'am. First of all, let me tell you this thing. Even after the incident that happened on the that happened in that Agitating Medical College, I think on 14th of August, again the goons were sent. There were no safety and security measures even at that particular time as well. All the residents were gathered outside the hospital, college. They were protesting. They were in the bunch of like around thousands of people when the residents were not safe. How can we tell and how can we assure the residents that they will be safe on duty once they resume?
Okay.
Where are the concrete solutions
Dr.
for the
Shailja
same
Yadav,
thing?
here it is not the Mamata Banerjee government that is being disadvantaged with the doctors going on protest. It is not the health secretary. His family members will be able to afford private hospitals and go to the most expensive of the clinics to get treated. But here what we're talking about is the common man, the poorest of the poor, who require the services, who have no means to go to expensive hospitals to get treated, and therefore have to stay in their means and go to government hospitals to get treated for a subsidized amount of money that they spend in their treatments.
You, ma'am, but let me tell you that our senior doctors are completely supporting, our senior consultants are completely supporting our protest. They are seeing the patients, they are handling the patients, and they are doing their best for us. But as a resident, I think this matter is being highlighted because a doctor died on the duty. Many matters of subjectives have not been raised when they are physically or mentally or verbally assaulted, abused. It happened because she died on the duty. I think the last matter that was being raised was like around 6-7 months back. The same thing happened because the resident died on the duty. No matter has been subjected to this height till the time a doctor has not died on duty. Verbal assaults, threats, these were not being counted now. But the incident happened, it was horrific, that's why it is being raised. And now I think we doctors needs to commute together, and I think this is the time and this is the high time, because the red line has been crossed. She was raped, she was murdered.
But the point is, there's a difference, because when there are physical assaults, verbal assaults, they usually come from the patients' families, because they are aggrieved, they are unhappy the way the doctor has treated, the surgeon has treated their patient. But here you have a case which is an individual who has been appointed by the state police to be their representative, and who has in some surreptitious way got an entry into the hospital, is allowed to enter into the hospital, is a reported necrophilic. He has killed the girl, he has then raped her. There have been reports coming out that he has been actually getting access to the mortuary and has been performing sexual perverseness on the corpses itself. So I think these two issues are different. Yes, they are overlapping about the security of the doctors, and particularly the women doctors, but then slightly differing in how these incidents have panned out in our country in the past as well, in terms of the attacks on the doctors. Dr. PSV Rao, how do we tackle this? There's a larger issue of doctors' safety, and then there is a woman that has been murdered and raped in that order, and then there is the issue of the negligence of this government hospital itself, of the law and order agencies, and of course of the state secretary and the authorities and the government authorities.
Megha, you can't take each one separately. You have to take the whole picture. And my own experience, when I was staff of AIMS in New Delhi in the 80s, was that if the junior doctors went on strike, we seniors were the ones who were suffering. We were the ones who were doing all the extra work. So it is not that the patients were ignored or surgeries were not done. We just put in an extra effort. After all, we were used to it as a junior doctor, and we just put in the extra effort. And I'm sure that is what, from what I hear, the senior doctors in Calcutta are taking care of the patients. It's not that the patients are out with no one to care for them. Maybe waiting lists may get extended a bit, but they are meeting their responsibilities. It is only the junior doctors who are on strike. And this is if the administration doesn't listen to you, what else can anyone do? Any profession will finally go on the street and protest. And this is a peaceful protest going on. There is no violence going on from the doctor's side. Violence is being used to suppress their voice, like the goons which were sent in, and they not only threatened and attacked the doctors, they also went and completely destroyed the place. And the government also issued, suddenly out of the blue, they wanted to redo the whole place and said that we are going to remodel the place. Now, where was the bath till then? No one bothered if these doctors had any place to eat, any place to sleep, any place to relieve themselves. This is the sad state of affairs. And that RG Medical College, I've seen it. It is about 150 years old. That building is quite, parts of that old building are dilapidated. There are not even, forget about all the security, physical security, you don't even have your health security there.
Now, again, my question arises over here. It is like I said, it is not the health secretary who is suffering. It is not the principal of RG hospital that is suffering. It is number one, the doctors who have to face these assaults, and it is a threat to their life, threat to their security at this point of time is tantamount, paramount. And it is the people, the common man who is suffering, who cannot afford expensive medicine and expensive hospitals.
The common man is continuing to be treated by the senior doctors. It is a corruption in that hospital which is causing these poor patients to pay for an admission, to pay for a bed, to pay for medicine. Everything is, if you really go and talk to the poor patients, they will tell you that they are suffering because of corruption rather than because the doctors are not doing their responsibility, meeting their responsibility.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.